What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 6 of the We Don't Oss Podcast. Today, I get to have a great conversation with Justin Smith, who is sometimes my best friend, but he is one of the founding members, along with myself and our buddy Addison, of Lion Haven St. Croix Community Center, based in the U.S. Virgin Islands on the island of St. Croix. We're a 501c3 that works with kids. We offer tutoring, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. They've been learning how to cook. There's been pottery classes and fire dancing. And we just help out in any way possible wherever we're needed. We help with other organizations, and we've had other great organizations help us get going. And, the tutoring is done through another organization called Cane Bay Cares. And just it's a really powerful thing that we get to do for the youth of St. Croix. And Justin is the director, and he is the captain and driving force behind everything that we do. And I'm super excited to get to talk about what we do, so you guys can kind of see how we're affecting people's lives positively and all the great stuff that Justin does. He's a Super Bowl ring holder. He's a jiu-jitsu coach, professional MMA fighter, musician, CrossFit coach, most annoying human being I've had the pleasure of being friends with. And I hope that you enjoy this episode. And don't forget to visit www.lionhaven.org to see how you can positively impact the lives of the children in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Let's get into it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma.
What's up? I'm here with Justin Smith, one of the founding members of Lion Haven St. Croix Community Center of St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. And Justin, just give us like the clip notes, right? Like, how does a professional athlete move to creating a nonprofit that works with kids in the Virgin Islands?
Okay, I mean, it's not like a straightforward story. I mean, when being a professional football player, like once we're done, there's like this transition period that you have when you get back into the real world. And I mean, mine was not like a linear path. I mean, when I was done playing, obviously, like it was came as a shock to me because I was forced to retire when I was 27 because of a neck condition. So I didn't feel like I was done playing. So going through that whole roller coaster of emotions, not really feeling like I was done with the game. So then I had a lot of vices that I had at the time, but I eventually became a personal trainer. So I started getting involved in that world. I mean, getting down to St. Croix, I mean, that's a whole nother story. But as far as like working with youth, I used to do that, when I was growing up in Indiana. Like just, growing up, I went to a big church. So I played piano like for a youth group and for a children's church, and then playing football at Indiana University. There was a lot of times where as players, we were tasked to, go to the schools and talk with the kids. I was also like a camp counselor during my summer times as well. So working with youth was always kind of something that I had done. And fast forward to when I retired from football, and I was down here in St. Croix and was trying to figure out, okay, what did I want to do with my life? And I would look back and see what kind of things was I passionate about, and working with youth was one of those. So I ended up volunteering at the Boys and Girls Club here on St. Croix. So I helped kids after school with their homework and math. So then I was looking into becoming a school teacher. There's certain exams you had to take if you wanted to go that route. I mean, I already had like my bachelor's degree in accounting, but nothing in like secondary or primary education. So I started looking in that route, and I met a lady at a gym here. And long story short, they worked at a private school, and they wanted me to apply for their position that they had open for being a PE teacher and their drama teacher. Go figure. And I went and applied, and they hired me, more so out of desperation, because they really just needed me for like the second half of the second semester of their school. So it was more like they really were desperate for someone. But I took the job and did really well. The parents liked the kids like me. So then they wanted to know, okay, what else could I do? And then I ended up becoming the middle school and high school math teacher. I ended up teaching PE for the whole school. I was the music teacher for the high school and kindergarten. And they didn't really have any sports programs, so I ended up being the coach of the cross country team and track and field team. Coached at their summer camps during that summer. And that was my background in as far as working with the youth. And I was a teacher here for 4 years. You actually substitute taught for me a few times when you were living down here.
The interesting thing is, like, as you're lining all that up, I'm realizing, like, that was some stuff I didn't know.
Oh yeah, there's
like the drama teacher thing. I mean,
yeah,
I understand. Like, it makes sense. You're super dramatic.
That was
like,
a good.
Like there was, I was like cross country. We did that too, and you were the music teacher. We did that.
Uh-huh.
Like,
I was in charge of aftercare,
really,
like the whole after school program. I was in charge of that. So then I ended up having like a chess club. There was, kids, they like their little Minecraft. So then there was a Minecraft club, and then we did like flag football stuff after school. Like I was in charge of all that. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right.
And then that hurricane came. A couple hurricanes came and then shut our school down.
Yeah. Hey, for the listeners that don't know, we haven't really said much, is Justin and I do know each other. We've known each other for a little over 6 years now. And we did start Lion Haven together, but every time we've been in settings, Justin makes me explain how this started. And I thought it would be better for me to hear him talk about it and also give him some practice, because he acts like he's not good at public speaking.
I'm not.
So, but let's go back. All right. So hurricane, 2 of them, Cat 5s.
Yeah, that's what happened. And ended up shutting our school down eventually. Like we ended up losing, I don't know, it was a private school. We ended up losing like 60% of our population. So after that year, like we couldn't stay open anymore. And you were here for the hurricane, or were you stuck off island when the hurricane happened?
So here's the tricky part. So I was there during Irma. And then
the one that
Corey and I left right after that to take off to Costa Rica to do jiu-jitsu at Hero Academy with the Haunts family, with Ryan. And
I forgot Ryan.
Yeah, that's how we got invited. And then Ashley calls me and says that there's a Cat 5 on the way. So I'm in Costa Rica, and Hurricane Maria is on a direct path to dump itself all over St. Croix and Puerto Rico.
Yep, and it did. And our school was out of power for 7-8 months. So we had to go back to the old school way of teaching kids, like teaching math. I didn't have any smart boards anymore to work, so I had to show them paper and pencil.
What is that?
I know, right? Stuff we used when we were growing up. So after that school year ended up being done, and we shut down the school, and I was either going to teach at a different private school here, or I ended up becoming the head coach of the CrossFit gym. Long story how that happened, but then I ended up doing that, and I did that for 3 years until it wasn't teaching CrossFit and fitness. I mean, that's always going to be a part of my life, but it wasn't as fulfilling as, it could be like when I was working with the youth, when I was a school teacher. I mean, my job, it felt really, fulfilling. And prior to me not being a school teacher anymore, and after doing all my CrossFit coaching, you and I, we had always kind of kicked around the idea of you wanted like just a straight up Jiu-Jitsu nonprofit, right? Kind of like where you were in Costa Rica. But what I was thinking at the time was I wanted to bring like a YMCA type facility here to St. Croix. So I started to look into how to make that happen. Long story short, it is so many hoops to try and do that with a YMCA, where then somebody suggested, why don't you just start your own nonprofit and then, make your own. So the seed was planted. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. And I'm like, Eric, remember that? Remember when we were talking about what we were talking about? And you had, this was the name you had, and we were fighting over what we were going to call it. So that is the genesis of how Lion Haven, not Lion's Haven, but how Lion Haven happened. So then I jumped into getting all of our paperwork that we needed as far as getting our 501c3 status as a nonprofit. And, it's a tedious process. It takes some time for that to happen. And once we did, because of another partner of ours, Dr. Lindsay Wagner, she was employing Addison because he was another member of, that started this with us. And she knew what we were doing, and then she had some kids that needed some help, and then we just kind of figured out how to make that happen. And a lot of the kids and their parents were really responsive to it, and we realized that we needed to do more. And here we are.
Man, I was so frustrated.
I know you were so because you were like, oh, Lindsay's pushing us, we ain't ready.
So frustrated. We're not ready. And like, I definitely changed my tune. I was like, you know what? Like, you got to start, right? Like there is no, you can't wait for perfection. You just got to get in. And like, without Dr. Wagner, like just being like,
go,
without Lindsay being Lindsay and being like, do it, here, make it happen. Like she just really kickstarted us, and it helped us discover what we wanted to do, what we didn't want to do, what we were good at, and like, I think honestly, like, I think my favorite part of the story is that like, it was, year one on Island when I was still teaching out of the boxing gym, of like, I want to do this nonprofit. I want to call it Lion Haven. And you just not getting Lion's Haven? No, dude, Lion Haven. Like, I don't know why it's important to me, but I don't want the S on there. I can't. But and then,
Haven.
Fast forward like 3 or 4 years, and you're like, hey, so I'm starting a nonprofit, and I'm going to put you on the board.
Yep.
Oh, and we're calling it Lion Haven. I'm like, okay, all right. Whatever, man. Like, let's just do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's just do it. And
yeah, because we needed that jiu-jitsu element in there.
I know.
Part of it.
I know. It's perfect. Let's elaborate a little bit, like, on the goals and like the mission of Lion Haven. And like, and maybe like how the original idea versus like what it's evolved into, like what it's rolled into, and where it is now.
So when we were kind of coming up with trying to do all of the paperwork for Lion Haven, one of the things that they always say is like, you need a mission statement, right? So we kicked around to try and make a mission statement of exactly what do we want Lion Haven mission statement to be. So I ended up writing it to become and say, if you can remember, Lion Haven, providing a safe place after school for our at-risk youth to learn, grow, and thrive while meeting the needs of our island community. I mean, it's perfect, right? The whole point of it is just that I'm proud of that one, you know, like, well, that was my first and only mission statement I've ever written, but that's exactly what we're trying to do, trying to provide a safe place. I mean, you think of the word haven, right? That's safe. You think
That's
of
where that
lion,
came from. Yeah.
you think of a word, you think of lion. I mean, you think of a very strong, you know, powerful animal, king of the jungle,
Strong, proud,
right?
and you know, that community, you know, like I could literally easily sit here and start talking about my time on St. Croix, and I could just cry. Like, I'm just like, some of the best moments of my life, and how beneficial just living there, you know, was, in the relationships that I built. But like, the culture is just so colorful and so beautiful, and they're so proud, and they're so incredibly welcoming, you know. Like, that was super cool to me, to like, you know, leave the mainland and come down to the island, and just like, once people started realizing that I was there to live and not just there for a month, you know, like, how welcoming, you know. And we experienced that through the hurricanes, and like, when Ashley and I got married, like, it was all island family. Like, we didn't have anybody come down from the States. Like, it was all island family. It was all people that we had built relationships with in a 6-month time frame.
Yeah, I remember I was at your
so
wedding, like, on the beach.
I don't even think we were friends then.
We
Barely
weren't
friends
best.
now.
We weren't like sometimes best friends yet.
Yeah, we, ladies and gentlemen, Justin and I are sometimes best friends. The rest of the time, I don't know what the word is.
I don't know either.
I'll keep it.
Say it.
I'll keep it
on the podcast,
but sometimes I don't want to claim it. So, all right. So, you know, that's our mission statement. Like,
yeah, and you know,
like,
when we had started, you know, we were doing everything at Beeston, right? So at Beeston Hill, and the idea was, you know, right after school, provide the kids with snacks, and then straight into homework help, and then depending on the day, like twice a week, they were going to come work and do CrossFit workouts with me, and twice a week they were going to do Jiu-Jitsu with you. And then Addison, you know, from his counseling background, then he would be doing like a sit down kind of, not necessarily therapy, but more just like a group talk with the kids. I mean, that was the overall,
like, a mentorship session.
Yeah. And like, we put it as like a 10-week long program, if I remember correctly, like when we were getting pushed by Lindsay to do it, like right going into the end of the school year, because in the second semester of that. So that's what it kind of looked like at the beginning part. And then it's, you know, it's changed into and morphed into something a lot bigger as we have seen how much those kind of things were necessary. So right after that, I mean, then I started realizing, okay, man, like, in order to do some of this stuff, like, there's certain, like, we need funds, we need resources, we need capital. So we did our first fundraiser that summer, our 0.1K fun run that we did.
Our very first 0.1K.
0.1.
It's about the whole distance that I would want to run.
Yeah.
Or walk.
And we raised a good chunk of money that, you know, went by very quickly when we had to, when the school year started, and I wanted to try and work with the government and do like work at Canagata Ballpark or any of the ballparks, right?
Yeah.
But ended up meeting a gentleman named C and started doing everything out of a homeowners association building in Montbijou. But you know, it ends up costing a lot of money to you know, feed the kids, you know, make sure they're having snacks, make sure they have water. When we started to network with other professionals on island to do things after school with the kids, whether it was fire dancing or different art programs, you know, we would try to at least compensate some of the instructors. I mean, I haven't been compensated yet. Like when we started doing jiu-jitsu, like you weren't getting compensated. We were just sending kids for jiu-jitsu. They were coming to do CrossFit. Like me, you, Addison, as the founders, we weren't, we weren't doing it for the money, number one, but the funds that were being generated from our fundraising, we were having to use for different projects. Like when
I think a big misconception that I've experienced, like not with Lionhaven, but with like hearing people talk about other nonprofit organizations, is the idea that like we're all supposed to just volunteer our time, and it's like, man, guys, you got to realize, like, the people that run these programs, they have families, you know what I'm saying? They got to eat, and people seem to get this weird idea when they hear nonprofit, right? That it's like, oh, well, the people doing these classes should be making any money, or, they should be doing it for free because it's a nonprofit. Like, guys, we raise money because like Justin said, like we feed these kids, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not just that, right?
The programs are free for the kids. Like, the kids aren't paying to go to Jiu-Jitsu. They're not paying to come to CrossFit. They're not paying anything. Like, we have a pottery program that we've got going on now.
Yeah.
We have a cooking program that we have on Saturdays. Kids aren't paying for this, but you know what? Part of the cooking program, we got to buy all the food that's going to be cooked for the group of kids that are doing it. When we have to transport the kids in buses, I mean, these taxi drivers aren't driving these kids around for free, and they charge a lot of money. Like, when we went during summer camp, when we were bringing a busload of 15 kids to Beeston, I mean, that cost $120 every time we brought kids there, the round trip. Which is why we're trying to buy our own van this year anyway. So I'll throw that out there.
Nice.
We're going to get in our own van.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, just the mentality, that people have about nonprofits. And, and what I hate about it the most is, like, I've seen some people that they have a really good programs. They're doing really good things, but they just can't find the financial support.
Right.
Because, like, hunting down the money is so hard. The fundraising can be so hard. But something I always, since I've gotten up here in South Carolina, like, I love getting to talk about, Lionhaven, and, like, it's always like, when I list all the things, they were like, what were you doing on the island? I was like, oh, well, first I was living, and then I was doing jiu-jitsu, and I started a nonprofit organization, with a buddy, and, we do stuff with kids. Like, it's one of my proudest, like, bragging moments. Like, like, we have a running nonprofit organization, you know what I'm saying, that helps people that, like, I really care about it. But it's what I do love it. And, and something that we discussed early on is there's so many great organizations on island that don't have the same skills as far as raising money that you seem to have. And, like, we've been able to, like, put money.
That is a skill. I don't know. It's like, I think people are just really, they see what we're doing. They see how we interact with the youth, and they believe in us. That's pretty much what it is. It's not like, I don't think it's a skill. It's just the fact that what we do, people believe in it.
No, I think that's 100% true. But there's a thing, it got pointed out to me. Pat Cox was telling me one time when I was trying to keep sponsorships coming in for us to travel to go compete for jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. And it'd take me a long time. Like, I never liked asking people for money. And he told me one day, he goes, the greatest thing you got going for you right now is that, like, you do not hesitate to ask for it. And, like, that's the first thing, that's the first roadblock that people run into. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to go to the businesses. They don't want to, like, I had somebody tell me one time, like, don't say no for people. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, hey, maybe I should ask this person. Nah, they probably won't do it. Like, don't say no for people. Now, maybe they say no, but it's not a reason to be upset. It's not a reason to be embarrassed, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, so our ability to just be like, hey, we need this. You know what I'm saying? This is what we need. Like, who can help me get it? This is what we're going to do with it. Who can help me? But also, like, the proof of work, right? Like, we've been able to have, like, proof of work for this is what we're going to do. But, you know, our ability to help, like, you know, Mom Bijou and do stuff for them. And I love that we're able to do that. I love that, like, Lion Haven is not we have to be the ones that do everything for St. Croix. Like, there's all these great organizations.
Yeah, that just need a little.
That we're like, hey, they need it. They need the help, right? And like, I really love that we've been able to do that. So let's like, what do you think has been the biggest challenge so far, like running Lion Haven?
Yeah, the biggest challenge I would definitely say is just the resource aspect of things. Yeah, we get, you know, I do as much fundraising and writing grants as I can. But for the most part, you know, when you were here, it was just me, you, and Addison, you know, doing, right. and you know, I would get, you know, Ashley would have to help with some of that, like, typing stuff. Like, just throw me in the room and throw me with the group, a youth, and then I'm fine. It's a lot of the behind the scene things that I also have to tackle on top of everything else. So it's a resource thing. Like, I wish that there were more people as passionate and had the free time as, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, even me, you, and Addison didn't have all the free time in the world. Like, Addison's got, I mean, he works a full, you know, 40-hour week job. Huh?
Yeah. Ezra was born, like, when we really started kicking things off. Like, I got this brand new baby, you know, like, yeah, everybody's lives kind of like.
And then you moved away.
And then I moved away.
You moved away, and then now I'm like, but, you know, you're going to come back. I know. But then that even that ended up having to change, like, a little, like, how some of the things were run. I mean, it was thank God that John, that his kid was in your program, and we were already in the process of turning the jiu-jitsu aspect of it into more of a grappling and wrestling aspect for the youth. So I mean, it's amazing for him to become part of it. So now the youth can still do their grappling, you know, Mondays and Wednesdays. And that's just another thing that Lion Haven's able to provide, you know, buying all of the wrestling mats and the tape and the wrestling, the rash guards and all that stuff.
Bro, let's hold on. Let's just the dope rash guards and shorts from Sean McCleary at Schismatic Industries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because he hooked those up at cost. You know what I mean? Like,
and they ain't cheap.
Sean McCleary. No, they're not cheap. They are high quality. So shout out to Sean McCleary Jiu-Jitsu, and Schismatic Industries. 100%.
Yes, love all of your rash guards. But yeah, that's the kind of fundraising that we do. We're able to get those, provide those, and, you know, give those away to the kids. But toughest thing is just the resources and the big grand scheme of things, like what we're trying to do. Like, it's gonna, you know, because at the end of the day, I'm wanting to build a YMCA type facility here on island. So all of the things that we do, we could do in one centralized location. Because as of now, I have a lot of the programs I do at the CrossFit gym. Then there's programs we do over at St. Croix Montessori as far as the wrestling and the fire dancing. And then we have all the programs over in Mom Bijou, where we have the cooking program, and now a pottery class and an art program. We do our NFL flag stuff. We do that at Leatherback on Fridays. I mean, to be able then to have a more centralized location to then have all of these activities to come and make it easily accessible as far as transportation is concerned, to have kids be able to come there right after school. That is the main goal, and the main thing holding us back from that is just the resources of it, which I'm in the process of making happen. Right. We're getting there.
Can just because, like, for the amount of time that we've had, you know, Lion Haven running, can you think of like a specific story, like what you would consider like a success story, or like just kind of like highlight that, you know, Lion Haven has had on like a specific kid's life? You don't have to drop a name,
You know,
maybe you don't want to, but just like,
there's a handful. There's a few. I'm reminded of a girl named Solange. She's, probably she was 11, 12, like very, very quiet. And her mom would bring her to Mom Bijou, and she was just so quiet. Like she didn't want to talk to anybody. Not that she didn't want to, just very quiet. But then I was tutoring her in math, and, just her being around and being there pretty much every day, and then just getting used to it. I mean, she ended up coming out of her shell. I mean, she ended up wanting to play softball and basketball. Like her mother, I want to say maybe 4 months in, I mean, she, called me crying to let me know like how much everything that we've been doing has meant to her daughter. I mean, her daughter and her father, they were at the gala when we had the gala at the castle. Yeah, at the
ladies
castle.
and gentlemen, there's a castle on the island.
So she was one of the kids that came there, her and her father. I mean, and she felt like a princess. I mean, that was a great story. I mean, we have a kid now, his name's Aslan. He does a lot of the NFL flag football stuff with us. Another kid, very quiet, but now he's in a position where he's actually helping us coach the younger kids, right? He's 17. All right. But now he's in a position now where he's been with us, me and Addison, so much, and knows how we do things, that he's there all the time, and now is helping us when we have the 6, 7, 8-year-olds at Leatherback for football. So now he's actually becoming a leader. And I mean, he doesn't even realize it yet. He doesn't know, but
Right.
like those two kind of
That's what we want.
stick out right now.
Yeah.
Started that new job.
All right, Gavin, read it.
Hey, pickleball enthusiasts. Rickson here, Olympic pickleball player and proud unsponsored athlete of Winoosh Trading Company in Austin, Texas. Just like the precision in my shots, Winoosh delivers a taste experience that's unmatched, unapologetically irreverent, with just the right amount of wrong. Their coffee and olive oils fuel my game on and off the court. Elevate your taste game just like I do with Winoosh. Visit them today and let your palate savor the winning flavors. It's a match made in pickleball heaven. Cheers to Winoosh Trading Company, where every serve and sip is a winning combination.
That's awesome. So we're about halfway through, and I want to test out this new portion of my podcast called Did We Just Become Best Friends?
Oh boy. All right.
So I'm going to ask you some questions, and you're just going to answer them for me. We'll discuss if we need to. I might judge you on some of them, but let's just go. All right. So, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Technically, yes. Pieces of bread with meat in the middle, kind of the middle. So technically it is a sandwich. Yes. It's a type of sandwich.
Yeah.
But
So
it's a sandwich.
I have a thought on it. And I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong, because if I eat a hot dog with just mustard, I'm eating it by hand. Right?
Yeah.
But I like chili dogs, and I'm that guy who drowns them in chili and cheese.
Uh-huh.
So I end up eating them with a fork.
With the bread? Or you just get the
Yeah.
hot dog with just chili?
No. I take like I put a dog in the bun. Let me be more specific. I put 3 or 4 buns on a plate. Okay.
Oh, you just lay it flat. So you're having an open. So you're having an open.
No.
hot dog chili
It's
sandwich.
like if you had 4 hot dogs in the buns and you just put them on the plate, right? Like you're trying to carry them off.
Oh, okay. So you didn't put
You know
the
what I mean?
buns
And then-
just flat, and then the dogs.
I don't put them flat. It looks like it looks normal.
just
it looks
4
normal.
hot dogs, and then you just drizzle. You are fat.
And no. I don't drizzle. I pour chili
Down bucket
and then
chili.
cheese. So like I pretty much got to eat it with a fork. And at that point, it's no longer a sandwich, because you do not eat a sandwich with a fork. But if it's just the hot dog and mustard, I'm going to say it's a sandwich.
Yeah, you just had a plate full of just pig slop, but it's
Bro.
good pig slop. Good pig slop.
Bro, delicious. All right. This feels like it might be appropriate for your sweet tooth.
Okay.
What is your favorite color jelly bean?
You know, I I'm a fan of the black jelly beans when it comes to jelly beans. I thought you were about to ask me about gummy bears, but when it comes to jelly beans, yeah, I'm a black licorice guy.
So that's wild. I love black jelly beans. And
Yeah. Those are my
and
favorite ones.
I don't really like licorice.
You don't like black licorice?
Like, no, not really. Like, but like,
You never had those Australian juicy licorice?
bro, dude, I don't like them. I don't like them. I had a guy bring back some licorice from Holland, and I don't love it. But I love black jelly beans, and I had since I was a small kid. And honestly, this was one of those judgy questions.
You
right?
judge me?
Because well, mostly with the point of this question, the point of this question is if we shared a bag of jelly beans, I get to keep all the black ones to myself. And now I know that we can't share jelly beans.
No, we'd have to grapple for them. Grappling for jelly beans. Sounds like
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't expect that. I didn't know where that was gonna go. And I thought you would try to correct it for flavor when I just said colored jelly beans.
Uh-huh.
But I was specific, like what color jelly bean. This is important. Because I mean the truth is all red jelly beans are probably delicious as well.
Most other jelly beans, they all taste the same except the black one.
Yeah, I know. I got you. All right.
Like if I close my eyes and eat them, I wouldn't be able to tell you the color except for the black one.
Okay. Next question. Can you fold a fitted sheet by yourself?
Like off my bed?
Yeah. You know, the first sheet that goes down, the one with the elastic.
You mean like take it off and then just fold it and then put it in the closet?
Well, I mean, or out of the dryer and fold it and put it in the closet. It'd be weird if you took it off the bed and folded it and put it in the closet. You have to wash it first.
I mean, I would more than likely roll it up.
So no, you can't fold.
Those things don't fold very nicely. I'd put it in half again, and then roll.
Okay, good. Now I know that you are not better than me because I too cannot fold a fitted sheet. Okay.
No, you just kind of
wanted. I mean,
in half.
I've seen videos. I've seen videos of people folding it, and I still won't do it. I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah, I didn't even know that there were videos of people folding those things.
Apparently there's a way. Yeah, there's a way to fold those sheets, and it's one of those videos. Like it's such a common thing that people can't do it. That those videos have millions of views. Right. Like it's one of those situations. All right.
Okay.
If animals could talk,
okay,
which one would be the rudest?
Which animal would be the rudest?
Yeah, they could speak.
Domesticated house cats. Oh, no. These wild roosters here on St. Croix. They would be the rudest because they're yelling at you at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Just saying, wake up.
You know what's funny is like thinking about that. Like I didn't even consider them, but like knowing that the roosters are cruising.
They're rudest. They are the rudest animals on
the things that are coming out of their mouths that they're screaming at you are not nice.
No, they're
not nice at all. You're right. You're right. Crucian roosters, if they could speak.
Yeah.
Great accent, though.
If you go to St. Thomas, they call them dumpster cocks because they're by the dumpsters all the time. And they got a beer over there, dumpster cock beer.
Oh, nice.
And it's good too.
This is speaking of beer. So, did I tell you that Dave Bronstein, the brewmaster from Leatherback, was up here back on Valentine's Day?
No, you didn't, but I saw him in Leatherback. He told me that they're going to be trying to get it up there.
So, couple things. Like, first off, he is a better friend than you because he's already come to see me. Now, he didn't know that I was actually in the area. Somebody reminded him that we were up here. Saw him, and I had to fly to Orlando to see you.
Yep.
You're a trash friend. But yeah, so he told me that the oldest running brewery in Greenville, that's about 40, 50 minutes from me, is going to be brewing all the leatherback staples like Beach Life, Bush Life.
So you're gonna have it
like
in
that.
cans there.
Yes. Well, I don't think they're going to can it. I think they're just going to sell it draft at that brewery. So like I'm going to have to go to the brewery to get it. And
Okay.
I'm definitely going to go with my leatherback tumbler. And Ashley's going to wear her leatherback hat. And when they start trying to be like, let me tell you about this beer, we're going to say, shut up.
Like I know everything
for that
about
beer. I know I canned that beer, bro. But and then they're going to be they have a distributor down in Charleston about 4 hours from here. So it is going to start making its way through the state, which is super exciting for leatherback.
Cool.
And now we can just get Mutiny Island vodka this direction. So, okay, we got one more question. This is probably my favorite question because I've never considered this before. Is cereal just cold soup?
No. When I think of soup, I don't picture necessarily grains in the soup. I mean, you can dump some crackers in there. But when I think of soup, I think of, vegetables. I think of more of the flavor of it, not necessarily sweet, but more, more salty, more umami, more, and with meat in there,
Yeah.
So cereal is not cold soup.
So I'm going to agree with you because I don't like soup, and I love cereal.
You don't like soup?
Not really.
Chicken noodle soup?
I don't hate it, but like I don't get excited. You know what I'm saying? Like I
What
don't.
about chowder though?
I'm from Texas.
Chowder.
Oh,
They don't do chowder down there. Well, then chili.
Man, they do
chili.
I like chili.
That's
But
like
okay, hold on.
really
So let's
thick
do one more
soup.
because we're from different places. Does chili have beans in it?
Sometimes, not all the time.
Okay, see, I agree, and like I know
But
people that will argue that
It definitely has
heavily.
meat.
Yeah,
You can't have chili without
I like
meat.
meat.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that was my first did we just become best friends section, and knowing that we agree on the hot dogs and we agree on cereal not being cold soup, but
Well,
that
we
we
agreed on jelly
cannot
beans.
share jelly beans. We can't share the jelly beans.
But we agreed
I'm
they're
gonna
the best
say that
ones.
I'm going to say that
We agreed on the rudest animal, if they could speak.
that's true. I think I'm going to have to say, did we just become best friends? Our relationship is going to have to stay at sometimes.
Yep.
No, sometimes best friends.
Sometimes best friends. That's
Sometimes
fine.
best friends. All right.
Probably not be best friends after this podcast is over.
No, but you know what? We can play this
Unless
again.
we get some people to at the end, like they end up donating stuff to Linehaven, then we might become best friends for a while.
Ooh, we can do that. Let's do this. Let's talk about real quick all the programs and that Linehaven has running now. Because people like to hear what we're doing. They want to know where their money goes. And maybe can we shout out some of the businesses that are currently involved with it? Let's talk about what we're doing. Like, let's talk about the programs that Linehaven supports and runs right now.
You were here during the whole 10-week long summer camp.
Right.
And that, it was like, so we had like 50 to 60 kids. Again, if we had a community center, but we had them all at the Montbijou Homeowners Association building. And that's where we a lot of the resources that, I was able to, raise were dedicated to basically helping run that entire summer camp. So one of the things that we did, we bussed kids to come do jiu-jitsu once a week. We brought in people to do fire dancing. We brought in people there to do capoeira. We had, Corey Mills, like we were building a skate park over there.
Yeah, that's super rad.
In the adjacent parking lot. So summer camp, I'll just say that's just kind of one big program that's weeks long, right?
Yeah.
Now when the school year starts, it's changed a little bit only because of other things I'm having to do. Like I can't personally be there every day to do my after school tutoring. We did partner with Cane Bay Partners, Cane Bay Cares. So they do a good job and help provide tutors when that's necessary, all free of charge for the kids. And they're the ones that handle payment of their own tutors. Me tutoring, like I wasn't getting paid for anything, but I was there. So that's why I tutored. So there's the free tutoring we offer. We offer the youth grappling Monday, Wednesday, but that's at the Montessori school. It's a program called Resilient Roar, which is with CrossFit with the kids. I do that Tuesday nights at 6:30 and then Saturday mornings at 10:30. We just started a pottery program.
That was the Resilient Roar. Like I see what you post, bro. You got a lot of kids for that.
Oh yeah, I'd say the most we had there is probably like 30 kids from all over the island that are there to get there. Yeah. And that's amazing. We made that as a year-long program. So that started in August, and that's just been, it'll go on the rest of the school year as well.
Amazing.
We have that Master Chef program we started, which is like a 6-week long. So we go in 6-week chunks where we work with different chefs on the island, and they basically cook with the kids and provide different meals on Saturdays. And that's from 10:30 to about 12:30 there at Montbijou using that kitchen over there. Did I just say the pottery program?
Not yet.
Wednesday. All right. And then we have a pottery program called Pottery Playground that's on Wednesdays from 5 to 7. There's a lady, Chantel, Chantel, the one that had come Jiu-Jitsu, where I'm doing like the women's Jiu-Jitsu stuff. She did, started the horse program in the jail. So she's the one that's actually doing the pottery. And we want to do like a horse program with them, and we'll figure how to make that happen. Probably definitely do something with it during the summertime, but that's another program that we're working on. We bought like 4 drones. So C is actually doing he's in the process of starting like a drone class, a drone flying program to teach kids how to fly drones and take video. And, there's, careers and money that can be made with that.
That's huge. Yeah.
Just fun. Then there's an art program that's also on, that's 2 days out of the week. A guy's name is Mr. Smith. He's an art teacher actually at Complex. They've been actually painting a mural on the storage unit, like the container that I bought that we needed for storage. Well, they're painting and doing a mural on that. They're almost done with that, but he has an art class program that he does twice a week. And also starting a video program. So I need to get like 2 gimbals. So the kids are interested in that. They can learn how to do kind of like videography type stuff. And what we'll end up doing, we'll have these kids be the ones to like record what we do at our programs. Because a lot of time, I mean, you see what I do, but I only have it because it's on my Instagram story. It's not like I can really record it. I just have my little phone and I'm doing my little story while I'm
yeah.
But to have someone to be there to kind of just record it and then make it kind of look a lot more professional. Another program.
No, that's definitely cool.
Oh, and then also, flag football, what we're doing with NFL flag, even though that's not technically, Lion Haven specific. I mean, that is something that as when we all have our Lion Haven kids be part of it, but that's just another thing we're doing for the youth on this island. Trying to get it in the schools because 2028, flag football is in the Olympics. So trying to get ready
That's
for that.
insane. I didn't know that. That's amazing.
You didn't know that?
No, man.
2028 flag football in the Olympics, but it's a 5-on-5 rule set. So now I'm in the process of trying to get NFL flag in the schools here. It's called NFL flag in schools. So the teachers get all the curriculum they need and all that kind of stuff, all provided by the NFL. And that's what we're trying to do.
Nice. Okay. And then, so let's get into resources, right? So I know that you've been after some government grants, like a rather large government grant of money that is going to disappear if we don't get it. Like,
Oh, that's a whole nother,
to go back.
that's a whole nother podcast we need to be on for that. Like, we'll schedule
man.
that.
So let's do this then. Then
But there is a petition that everybody can sign. It's on the
I will
website.
put, yeah. So I will make sure to put lionhaven.org in the description for this podcast on YouTube and Spotify. That's where you guys will be able to catch this at, and you'll be able to. I'll make sure to get the link in there to sign that and just help us draw more attention to it. That was good. I think that was pretty good. I think we should probably do this like every 6 weeks or so, and just kind of catch up on what's going on with Lionhaven and talk about what's going on but let's see. So we've got lionhaven.org, and then if you want to contact Justin directly, we can do that on the Instagram, right?
Yeah. Instagram's fine. Just it's my name at Justin Curtis Smith.
Justin
Nothing
Curtis
crazy.
Smith.
Yeah, there's a lot of Justin Smiths out there in the world. There were 4 of us in my high school. All our lockers were right next to each other. There were 2 of us that played. There were 2 of us that played football in the NFL. I used to get some of his stuff sent to me. There's 2 Justin Smiths here on St. Croix too. Did you ever meet the other Justin Smith?
No, I never.
Yeah. He's a CrossFitter too. You know.
Of course.
So you got to use my middle name, Justin
Curtis Smith.
Smith. Yeah.
And then also, if you want to hang out with him, he is about 4 nights a week at St. Croix Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Where he's running that program.
Yeah, because Eric left. Eric left, and now I had to coach jiu-jitsu, and it's fun, especially using the ecological approach.
You know how many people are not going to come now? They're just going to be like, oh, no, they don't. That guy doesn't know what he's doing. You're right. I came down to the island. I got involved, started a bunch of stuff, and then said, all right, Justin, you can handle this.
Bye.
I'm out.
Peace out. Now that you got to now become a coach. And every time people are always asking me, they're like, so how long you been coaching? Like, you're a good coach. I'm like, man, I just started a couple weeks. Like a lot of the girls from like the theater, because I'm a part-time thespian. So there's a lot of people from the theater that are wanting to join, and they have, and like they're loving it.
Dude, I saw some videos. I saw Anais was there. So she was our doula. So shout out to Anais and her new jewelry project. She has a piece of jewelry named after Ezra, which is just like the most beautiful thing that, like, absolutely I need to get a piece. I think it's a ring. I think Ezra's piece is a ring, and just super, like, when we found out, like, just very heartwarming, and just like, so super glad to have her involved in the birth of our child. And I can just say all kinds of fantastic things about her. I just love her. But yeah, I've seen her on the mat. I'm like, Ashley, check it out. And Ace is doing jiu-jitsu, so that's pretty rad. But that was fantastic, dude. And yeah, man, that was perfect.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a